Sometimes the place people call home can be very unusual. It can even be amazing. For example, there may be towering mountains overhead. Except for the entrance, there is a cliff or a raging river. People still want to go back to those places, and they think that's where they're most familiar, the most attached and comfortable environment. We will introduce you to the most unusual places where people live. Then come and watch the video. Matmata, Tunis. Matmata is a small town in southern Tunisia. It's home to about 2,000 Berbers. Many of them live in unique homes excavated from hard land. This cave is being used as a courtyard. It can be accessed from various directions to cavernous chambers built underground. If it's a big family, we'll connect the rooms with several lateral passages. Experts believe that the first dwellings of this structure date back to the 15th century, when the Berbers first arrived in this area, and notice that there are no stones or other building materials at all. Therefore, the goal will be shifted to other existing resources. But it turns out you can live in mud huts without any problems. And this kind of house also has a very good heat stroke protection effect, because the appearance of these houses is very strange. Therefore, it attracts many tourists to visit Matmata. Locals also received additional income, but that wasn't always the case. For a long time, people just live here and sell olive oil, live a traditional and simple life. By 1967, the arid region has been battered by torrential rains. The heavy rain lasted for a total of 22 days. The flooded houses of the Boers forced them to seek help from the authorities, and because of that, this unusual settlement will be known to the outside world. If you are a fan of Star Wars, maybe it dawned on the 1977 movie franchise, or maybe it was hoped that the public would see Matmata. Director George Lucas turned the local Citatolis hotel into the home of Luke Skywalker. In 2022, Star Wars will return to this location again. In addition, Matmata has also appeared in the winning moment of popular games, and Anthony Banderas in the movie Black Gold. Matmata is such a famous town. Drina's Monk's Cottage, Serbia. For those who want complete solitude or find their neighbors annoying, the best way is to build a house in the middle of the river. Isolate yourself completely from the outside world. The Drina River runs between Bosnia and Herzegovina in Serbia. The people who built on the river were not introverted, but because I like to swim. Now, let's explain what's going on. According to local legend, medieval hero Kraljevic Marko passed through this area while attempting to cross the Drina River, but he didn't want his horse, Sarax, to get his hooves wet, so he lifted a large stone and threw it into the water. And because of that, the hero's horse made it across the river with only 2 jumps. Since then, there is a rock in the middle of the Drina River. In 1968, canoe enthusiasts Milan and Mila Mandici brothers and their friends decided to build a hut here, and so they used planks from Hechuan, and it was a built-in house that was beloved by local romantics. During heavy rain, the hut was washed away several times, but they will use the boat to tow the house back to its original location. However, in the end, the hut did not last until this era. We're now dealing with the 8th generation of huts here. No one lives in this place permanently, but many people have spent the night here. Scavenger Town, Egypt, Cairo, the capital of Egypt. The scavengers known as Zabel have been recycling waste for years. Garbage collection is also an honorable and environmentally beneficial job, because someone has to clean up the trash that people throw away. In 1969, the city government decided to centralize all the people working in this industry in one place. And so the city of scavengers in the residential district of Cairo was born. It's an amazing place. The streets are littered with rubbish. Zabel collects garbage from various parts of Cairo, recycles about 85% of the city's waste. Every day, hundreds of wheelbarrows filled with rubbish head towards the city of scavengers, and Zabel took the garbage back to his house and sorted it. And take out everything that can be recycled. Redissolve metal scrap. Waste paper becomes the raw material for papermaking. Food waste becomes pig feed. But the people who do this work are also at risk. And the reason is very simple. Because there are often dangerous items, such as syringes and medical waste in the garbage. And because of that, in the residential area of Zabel, infectious diseases like hepatitis are rampant. Scavengers handle up to 14,000 tons of waste every day. You can imagine the amount. So of course, How much is it? How bad the stench will be on the streets and in homes? Coupled with a lack of power, basic facilities such as sewage treatment systems and piped water, we can know that this is not a harsh environment that anyone wants to live in. Setnil de las Bodegas, Spain. Setnil de las Bodegas is a small town in the province of Harshest, Spain. Attracting thousands of tourists, they wanted to know what life was like. In fact, it's a sight worth seeing, because the whole street of this town is made of rocks. Whether it is a restaurant, shops, and ordinary homes, all are located in natural caves expanded by humans. It is also very convenient, because it only takes one wall to build a house like this. Mountains can replace the other 3 walls and roofs. It saves time and effort. Meteora, Greece. Meteora is located in the mountains of northern Greece. It's a group of very oddly shaped rocks. This place was formed 60 million years ago by geological action that caused the seafloor to rise. After wind and water have stripped away the excess, what's left are these huge pillars of sandstone and sedimentary rock. The height is 600 meters. Around the 10th century, the monks took a fancy to this indestructible cliff, decided to build a monastery at the highest point. This way the robbers can't get in so far. A total of 24 large monasteries were built on this rock pillar. There are also chapels, small hermitages for caves, and film and television residences. Today, 6 monasteries continue to operate here, including the Great Meteora Monastery. If you visit here, you must climb 154 steep steps to reach the highest point, but the view from the top of the rock is definitely worth it. By the way, Meteora, translated, means to float in the air. You have a similar vocabulary in astronomy. It means falling to Earth, small celestial bodies that burn in the atmosphere and emit bright light. If you see a shooting star like this, never forget to make a wish. I hope everyone's wishes can be revived. Kando Inch, Iran. Kandavan in Iran is also an amazing place, definitely worth seeing. For hundreds of years, people here have always lived in these unusual houses at the foot of the dormant volcano Mount Sahand. This place looks like something out of a science fiction movie, but this is not a movie. Locals refer to these rocks as the Kalans. Karan is made of igneous crystals. Wind and crystal stone are the most fertile minerals, leaving behind sturdy conical pillars. About 850 years ago, nomads stop here and use this as a temporary place to stay. They hollowed out Karan and built houses, and has lived there ever since. Transition from nomadic life to sedentary life. And so Kandavan was born. Kandavan translates as the house itself. Since then, they built a floor out of Kalan, 2 or even 3-story houses. There's even a warehouse, old shops, and a mosque. Just like their ancient ancestors, modern Iranians still live in these romantic homelands and strive to preserve their own culture and traditions. Migingo. Migingo Island is located in Lake Victoria in Africa. The area is only 2,000 square meters. That's smaller than 3 regular football fields combined. But everywhere you see on this island are houses, like a bucket full of fish. In fact, fish are where it all began. The island's main inhabitants are Kenyan and Ugandan fishermen. For these people, Migingo is a great place to make money. Because Nile perch can be caught here, a family earns between $200 and $250 a month selling fish. That's 2 to 3 times the monthly income of the fishermen in the nearby villages. And because of that, wealth seekers flock here. To welcome these people, 4 bars were opened, several brothels, and a pharmacy. In the 2009 census, there are 131 people living in Migingo, but according to current census data, 500 people already live here. If this data is true, the population density of the island is 250,000 per square kilometer. It's an unbelievable number, because it is 6 times the size of Manila, the capital of the Philippines. And Manila is one of the most densely populated cities in the world. If you think today's journey is enjoyable, please like this video, and don't forget to share it with your friends and family on social media. So thank you all in advance. Let's look forward to the next movie together. Bye.